if you need some extra cash, we have a solution.
Commit check fraud.
Commit check fraud. The problem is we're a little late. They already got to it.
I don't think young people appreciate how dumb they are when they are literally committing crimes on TikTok daily.
But I think that the value of a hot TikTok is worth more to them than committing a crime. And if you have to commit a crime in the open, but you go viral and you get 1 million views, worth it. Glitch.
Someone started posting on TikTok that when you go to Chase Bank and you basically use fake checks and you deposit, they credit you for that money immediately. And then you take all the money out. Everyone started doing it. And by the way, this isn't like new news. People have been doing this since the dawn of banks. Now they're all posting that their bank account is negative 20,000, negative 30,000 because Chase fixed the glitch. No, you committed fraud. You got caught. Right.
It's just check fraud going viral.
Yes, check fraud has officially gone viral.
They thought it was free money.
Yeah.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Guys, so I know last week we were talking a lot about football.
Yep.
Especially college football. I felt a little FOMO because I'm not a big football fan. Well, let me do a huge sidebar. Our idea has already been taken. So VCs are already looking at high school football teams. So fuck.
Private equity, VCs, everyone.
God damn it. So we thought we had it. We're going to have to go to Little League. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to find the elementary schools.
Yes.
Start popping in.
So I Bloomberg had the article about how private equity is going younger. So, you know, when they say hi,
we go
when
low.
we go,
oh, yeah, when they go
low, we go high.
When they go low, we go lower.
We go lower.
Yeah.
And that's age.
Right.
And what I realized
That's
was...
not a good clip. Don't clip that for TikTok.
What I realized
you might have the authorities after you.
When I look at... there's an interesting... So I'm looking at Dominic, who just turned 7.
We have to cut him a check.
Yeah. I think there's...
Should we get him NIL?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
have to tie him
I'm
up.
sure I can bully a brand to pay Dominic.
Right.
What I realized is, you know, there's like, you see it happening in his age group already, where kids are gravitating to one sport only and playing club at like 7 years old.
Right.
And it's happening literally across his friend group. And so then I started thinking when we were having our conversation, like, oh, if these kids at 7 are committing to club sport, that's a business, right? So when we were out in Vegas this weekend, someone I work with brought his kids. His daughter had a jiu-jitsu tournament in Vegas. And she's older, maybe 12 or something like that. And basically you could figure out, like, if you professionalize the experience, everyone will pay.
What experience?
Of the sports experience, right? Like, what we've realized is there's so much wealth out in the universe that if you said, okay, this is the best soccer league, best baseball league in the city of LA.
Yeah.
We're going to do stats on your kids because that's what a basketball league does, not far from here.
Yeah.
We're going to do video. We're going to do it, but it's $5,000 a year.
Yeah. Easy.
Because like right now we sign up at the park for the league and it's, you know, $200 for the whole season or whatever. But if you just said it's $500 a month, which is like club soccer and stuff like that gets to that price point.
I feel like tennis does that well. Like they have that, remember in Florida, that
voluntary, IMG.
Like I feel like they do that
suck
well.
Kids in young.
Yeah.
And
they
Europe,
suck money out of parents early.
Yeah. I think
in Europe, if you're a talented tennis or soccer player, you're out of school by 12.
Yeah, you're in some program.
Yeah, you're in some sort of mini camp.
You just need that for every sport and jujitsu and fucking
everything.
Yeah.
I think I'm all in on it because you just see, like, if you're and no fault of the parent, except if you're doing it for your own self. But if your kid is like genuinely interested in something,
right,
99 out of 100 parents, if they have the resources, will do anything to give that to their child, whatever it is.
Right.
Chess, spelling bee, or whatever, or if it's sports.
And I would almost think about it like, almost like replacing the future college expense. Like if you wanted to roll the dice and invest early.
Yes. And I think
for a scholarship.
So don't you think the parents are doing it for selfish reasons? Like they want their kid to be the best. And does the kid really care to be the best?
I mean, not all, but some. But
I think some. I disagree because there's some kids I see at 7 years old, 8 years old. They're obsessed with soccer. They're like, all I want to do is play soccer. I want to play before school. I want to play soccer. After school, I want to play soccer. So when you have a kid like that, sure, he's happy.
Right.
He may burn out, and then when he's 12, he's like, I never want to play soccer again. But he's okay with that.
If the parents okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I can relate just in my weird world of like I started skateboarding when I was probably 10 or 11, and like I wanted to be a professional skateboarder.
And you're obsessed.
I was obsessed, and like there's not really a coaching culture in skateboarding, but if there was, and my parents had sent me, I definitely.
By the way, there is. You can pay someone to teach your kid how to skateboard now.
But here's the thing. So,
but I'm just saying, I would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
We're talking 30 years ago, and I think it's compounded pretty significantly in the way parents deal with youth
30
sports.
Years ago?
When we were playing sports, youth sports.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
You weren't that far off, bro. So anyways, I remember parents, and you know exactly who the parents were. They thought their kids had a shot to be pro.
That's fine. Why not?
And they made their kids' lives miserable.
Right.
We'd see
There's going to be
kids
some
leaving crying after games.
There's going to be some.
And that
I don't think you should stop it just because.
I don't think that's a bad thing for the kid either. Like getting pushed at a young age. Okay, if 7.
I don't care about getting pushed, but I do care about them not enjoying the sport
again. You keep talking
again.
about America's weak, and you want to make them pussies.
No,
that is a pussy move. If your parents are going to push you, like. If I see a dad pushing their kid and he's the best kid in the league, and I'm like, all right, whatever, he's worked. He's the best kid in the league.
Right.
And there's parents I see out there pushing their kid harder than everyone else.
I think there's some really unhealthy environments, but I do think it's the minority of environments. And I think you shouldn't stop the future of elite training facilities.
I guess my point's a little different.
Yeah.
Is basically in basketball, there's 60 guys that get drafted a year, right?
Right.
So you play the odds. You know your genetics.
Right.
Pull out what you can learn from youth sports.
Yep.
Which is teamwork, learning to
but
fail.
You have to push yourself to even learn that. If you're just like, if your parent goes to you and goes like, it's okay, you're the worst guy on your team. That's okay to feel like that. No, that mental mindset of pushing yourself against the best goes into the workforce. Why do you think everyone at Goldman Sachs looks like they play D1 sports? Because they fucking did.
No, they probably didn't.
But let me ask you this.
They played high school sports.
I mean, I'll tell you how many kids I will meet. And I'm obviously, during the call, I looked him up and like, what? You played varsity tennis at Stanford?
Right.
And then you also are a partner at this PE firm? Like, the best do, like, I think I disagree. I think you have to push kids.
But what's your point on it? Like, there's going to be some crazy parents.
So my point is basically that I think parents today push their kids to achieve things that are not achievable.
No, they don't actually. That's the fucking
But don't
problem.
you feel like that's too like blanket of a statement?
Because the pro athlete friends I have, like ex-baseball players, when they go to like their little league team for like 8-9-year-old kids, they're like, I don't get why these parents care so much.
Because they made it. That's different.
And they're like, and the other thing with like pro athletes, so these parents are pushing kids at like 8, 9, 10, and they're like at 12, he probably won't even care about the sport.
That's fine.
Right.
That's okay.
But what are you saying we should do about that?
I think parents have this false. I think all the parents that are pushing their kids think their kids have a shot, and they don't.
Right,
but that's you shouldn't do anything in life. No one has a shot to do anything. That's a horrible attitude to way to live life.
No,
it
not,
is.
in sports it isn't.
No, I mean you're
talking
everyone at Y Combinator. There's 4 companies have made it. Most of them failed.
What do you mean?
Go to Y Combinator.
There's like literally 100.
No, they're not. Of the founder that made money, there's not that many, and there's a statistic shown, and it's all about money. That's why you go to Y Combinator, not to build a great business. You go there to become rich.
Yeah, but then you get the
Okay, but
acqui-hire
most
to
of those kids
Airbnb
fail.
to this
Most
and
of
that.
those kids fail.
But the only question is like, what can we can't even, there's nothing we can do. You're right that there will be instances of that. But like,
I think overall, I think
what are we
it's
going to
great.
do about it? Even back to our original point of like, if you had these elite programs for the diehard kids, either way, there's going to be some of those parents. There's going to be some of those parents if there's an elite place for them to learn
But
or
by
not.
the way, the kids, Caleb Williams, who's the number 1 draft pick, his dad was extremely invested since he was 6 years old to making him a quarterback, right? Like his dad.
But his
all of
genetic
these kids-
makeup is very different than 99.9% of the world.
But that's
Right.
I mean, okay, Cooper Flagg should not have. His
What
parents
do
should
you
have.
think? 6'10"?
Okay, when did they realize that? At 5 years old? No, they realized when he was 14.
But I think
he
there's
started
kids
him.
that go to Harvard and pay for Harvard whose mental makeup can get you into Harvard, but isn't going to get you what you think you're going to get out of Harvard. Like, I think it happens.
It happens
the
everywhere.
genetic lottery happens in all.
in all facets of life. Yeah,
Here's my point. I don't think you're wrong on it. I think that happens a decent amount, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
yeah.
Because you're going to get the Beyonce or the
Because
Michael
there's people
Jordan
who are
or
pushing their
the
kids in
Tiger
academics.
Woods.
There's people who are pushing their kids in academics who's clearly their child is not an academic.
Right.
So that's a mismatch of what your intention is and what your child's capable of,
Right.
which is fine too. Like push your kid, maybe they'll get something else out of it.
Right.
That's happening in all parts of life. I just think every parent is doing what they feel comfortable doing. I'm not going to judge them.
The reason why I think it's a really weird topic that we could go back and forth about for hours is because also if you talk to almost any like elite athlete, their parents also not pushed them to the point of exhaustion and misery, but like made them believe they could do it. Usually there was an early influence that made them believe they were capable. And I think a lot of those people are really grateful for that early influence that sort of put that voice in their head.
Yeah. And I think
So there's such a thin line between like,
and
you're
by the
really
way,
supportive, you're a little too much,
I think later in life, what kids who've been pushed by their parents a lot have found a lot of good out of it, whether it materialized in the going to college and playing collegiate sports, or if it just materialized in, damn, when you push yourself, you can do things that you couldn't do before. Right. And I think, granted, I would rather see a parent pushing their kids to go for baseball than sit on their fucking iPad.
For sure.
And
yeah,
so
of
I think
course.
being outside, being with friends is so much more healthier than the alternative, which like right now, unfortunately, is sitting on your phone.
I do think too, like to your point, like if you, let's just say you were a really high performing up to freshman in high school, like volleyball player, even if you peak out at that point, I think you learn some life lessons that are like really, really valuable. It's just to Anand's point, like, yeah, when it gets into like toxic territory, I think that's really bad. But I don't think that's the majority.
No, definitely not.
I think that there's probably a lot of parents that are very strict and sort of whatever that the kids probably appreciate it later.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't even what we're fucking talking about. You guys went to Vegas.
Yes.
It's your birthday.
Yes. Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So we were talking all this stuff about college football. The sidebar I was going to take that I didn't even get to is there's a documentary on Netflix called Sign Stealer.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, but I know what it's about.
I know the Michigan.
Very good.
Yeah.
I
Connor
don't give a
Stallion.
shit. Yeah. I couldn't care less about college football and I was riveted by this thing.
Wow.
So you guys should watch it. So I had a big college football night last night of watching this documentary. You guys went to Vegas. Both.
You didn't watch the game?
No, I didn't watch any games. No, I watched the documentary. And then yesterday was big USC football day. I saw USC played at the band played at Delilah.
Yeah.
So give me the
Yeah.
film.
So Labor Day weekend is usually where my birthday falls and always coincides with kind of the launch of the college football season.
That's
So
pretty.
normally we've like watched at restaurants or
Right,
bars,
yeah.
whatever. We've always just gone to watch football. And, you know, this year it just so happened USC was playing in Vegas against LSU, which is like a really big game for college football purposes.
And that's not a regular thing.
No, they don't. They're not even the same conference.
Right.
It's like a special game. They probably agreed to this 10 years ago. It just fell on the date.
And I knew the viewership.
But is there usually like a Vegas kickoff?
No.
No, there's never a Vegas kickoff. There's usually a kickoff,
Right.
but it's not necessarily Vegas.
Okay.
But give people an excuse to come to Vegas.
Right. That's awesome.
And guess what happens? People come to Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, so I took my family.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's like, I don't want to go to Vegas. Dude, you're bringing your kids to Vegas. You're an idiot.
Right.
Let's just you go with your friends, make it a boys trip, and we'll go. No, like I want to take them to the game. I know you think Vegas is like a horrible place,
Right.
but I actually think we'll figure it out.
There's a way to do it.
So I start Googling like family friendly hotels. It turns out Mandalay Bay was at the top of the list. Questionable, but fine. Like very old hotel,
Right.
Built in 1999, does not have the amenities that newer hotels in Las Vegas have.
Right. I don't think I've ever stayed there.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
I've stayed there. It's a big NFL hotel.
Yeah. Definitely, because I think it's near the stadium. You can walk. The reason
Everyone's
why-
in a jersey in Mandalay Bay.
Yeah,
Right,
so
got it.
it's a very different crowd than the Wynn. It's funny because I was going back between the Wynn and Mandalay
Yeah.
to go to Delilah.
Yeah.
And, I'd leave the Mandalay where 100% of people are either wearing LSU or USC stuff.
Right.
I go to the Wynn. They
Nobody.
do not know there was a football game in town.
Right.
Zero people were wearing anything.
There was
Right.
a
It was
personal.
all Mary Dior.
Right. Right.
There's also a personal injury attorney conference that was happening.
Which is funny crowd.
That's a very different
That's a
crowd.
wild crowd.
Yeah. So whatever. We planned this trip. Anand and a bunch of our other friends all went there as well.
Yep.
And I wasn't like an intention to do it for a birthday. I just wanted to go to the game, take the kids, make it a thing.
Yeah.
And so we go and, for us, the funniest is like we get to the airport. I always, I park at the terminal.
You Burbank?
And I had to go to LAX. There was no flights, unfortunately. So it was a morning flight, so there was no traffic or anything. But the terminal I pre-reserved my spot. It's
Yeah.
much cheaper and they have discounts. So it's like pretty reasonably priced
Right.
compared to taking an Uber. If you're going with like family of five, I had to get an Uber Black. It'd be
Yeah.
like $100.
Yeah, I always park.
150, I think it would have been.
I always park, but I didn't know you could get a discount. I
Yes.
just
If you
fucking,
pre-book, it's like 50% cheaper sometimes.
Right.
So I always pre-book. I go Terminal 1, fucking not a spot, up and down, up and down. So I tell the wife and kids, like, why don't you guys, I'll drop you off front. I'll go find a spot.
yeah.
Find a spot. I start running. We have time. And there's two entrances in Terminal 1. They're in one. I'm in another. I just walk in. She's like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
They're still outside. Off to a bad start. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be fucking horrible.
What did you leave Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever. Everyone's on edge, just get at the airport.
Right.
I'm like, this is going to be a rough trip.
Right.
Get to the hotel. We arrived a little late, had lunch. Everyone was feeling good. It was like a good restaurant there. And then the kids wanted to do the shark reef. They have that. So they did that.
Yeah.
And I bolted to hang out with these guys to watch some football for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Came back. We went to the pool. It was 100, but it was like getting cooler.
Right.
Fine.
Anand, you stayed there too?
No, he was at the Wynn. Yeah. No one came and saw me. Don't worry.
Right.
I was drowning in the
I was at the Encore.
Did Amanda go or no?
Yeah. What?
Did Amanda go?
No, it's just me. I
The
invited
rest of
Amanda.
our friends was a boys trip.
That's why,
Everyone went without their wives except for D.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to do that?
To be fair,
Oh, you want
like,
to take the kids to the game.
I really wanted them to come to the game.
That makes sense.
Like I thought going to a game in LA is actually, this game was more likely to attend if we go there than easily on a Saturday afternoon. Everyone would be like, oh, I'm tired, I'm sick, I don't want to go.
Right.
I'm like, if we're there, we have to go.
That makes sense.
My travel accommodations were very different than
Yes.
D's.
Yeah, it sounds like D. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. So it's game day.
Good for you, man. You're a good dad for
Took
that.
them to the pool. It was hot. I was like, oh, we got to get back in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like, let's go chill. We walked to the stadium.
Yep.
The little one falls asleep right when we start walking to the stadium.
Nice.
Wait, so had Miles walked all the way?
No,
from
I took
Menlo?
a stroller.
Okay,
There's a bag
got
check
it. Okay.
outside. So whatever. We just started kind of walking in circles in the hotel, let him sleep for 30 minutes.
Right.
Got to the game, and we get to our seats, and my wife was basically like, this kid not going to last here, the 4-year-old, till the
Yeah.
end of the game.
Yeah.
The game starts. Second quarter, I want to go home. I want to go to the hotel. I'm like,
Miles or
Miles.
Right.
And Haley went to the bathroom and I was like, fuck this. He's wearing a headphone the
Yep.
whole time for his sound because
Yep.
it's too loud for him.
Yeah.
So I just give him my phone. I put on Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not leaving. At least stay till halftime.
Yeah.
Puts Kung Fu Panda on. No sound.
Right.
He has the headphones on, but there's no wires because
Right.
we didn't bring them because we didn't think we'd be turning
Playing
on.
Kung Fu Panda.
So he's watching this thing for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
He watches second quarter halftime Kung Fu Panda, 45 minutes. Third quarter starts. For some reason, he's engaged because everyone's screaming, yelling. I think a touchdown happened. LSU fans get into it. The rest of the game, I'm carrying him. My arm is so fucking sore.
Yeah.
So holding him for literally from
I
third
saw
to
that
fourth.
Instagram.
Yeah, I'm like dying. My arm hurts so much.
Yeah.
So, but he gets into it. My oldest is literally crying in the third quarter. He's like, we lost. Let's go home. I'm like, do you remember Super Bowl when you kept crying about Patrick Mahomes? They came back and win.
Yeah.
And USC, to their credit, they were playing actually really well. So I felt like, you know what? As long as they have the ball at the end, they have a shot.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Right.
I was like, don't worry, they're going to win. They're going to win. He's like, you promise they're going to win. I'm like, they're going to win. Just fucking chill, dude.
Yeah.
So whatever. He's like kind of stoic. He's like not cheering anymore.
Yeah.
They score, touchdown, whatever. He's not non-emotional.
Yeah.
They score the field goal at the end. We get the ball back. He just can't even look at the screen. He's like one of those, you know, when they show the people on TV.
Yeah,
Right.
they have
Who's
like
like
hands on
the
their
emotion
face.
is like overtaking them.
Yeah.
He cannot watch. Finally, they score. He can't believe they won. Like just madness.
Yeah.
And so it ends up being like a really interesting experience with kids because one, normally in an environment like that, I would probably get into a fight.
Right. The
Because
environment being
You're sitting around
Riled
the
up.
opposing school.
college football. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, you're drinking, you're talking shit.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't drink that much because
Yeah.
I had to carry the kids.
Right.
And then everyone's nice to you because you have kids.
True.
So people just kind of leave you alone, be like, high five, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then what's really interesting enough, like I've been to games in Michigan, Ohio State. I've been to a lot of these big football games. These LSU people, they're so fucking nice. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They were all shaking my hand at the end. Oh, great game. Too bad we didn't win.
They're a very friendly bunch, which I would not guess. Maybe because the LSU fans that are able to go from
They're really
New
rich.
Orleans
Right.
to
Right.
Vegas,
Right.
they're of
But you would
means.
think like Vegas kind of brings out the fuckery
So
in people.
we
Like
saw-
I'm not home. I'm not going to get in
I
trouble.
saw a
or-
little bit of it later in the night at the Mandalay of people screaming, yelling, kind of
Right.
losing their mind
That makes sense.
that their team
Because
lost.
they probably also had 15 drinks.
Yeah. And I think the couple observations were I've never seen so many polo shirts in my life.
Big polo shirt.
100% of the men at this game were wearing a polo shirt. 100%.
And I would also say,
like nobody wore a t-shirt.
Maybe
and-
that's the means you were talking about.
No, I think it's the look.
Here's the other thing.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, it's the look.
It's a look. It's like a preppy.
Everyone, it's like a preppy
Like,
thing.
this is
It's-
a new thing.
No, I think it's always been like that. I think the South, like your white kind of college person, old or young, like they're all wearing LSU polos or purple
Right.
polos, white polos.
And I'd also say 100% of the people were white
100%. Yeah.
of the LSU fans.
So you're saying it was the LSU people wearing the polos, not the USC?
No,
They were wearing the
USC
same
guys
outfit.
are wearing streetwear.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like a mirroring.
Right. Got it.
And so it was like, it goes back to like why I think the 6-year-old sports league can work.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, they're not random school. It's USC, LSU. These are like very heritage football programs.
Yeah.
But like both teams have sucked for the last 5 years.
I think
Burroughs was the last time he won. That was probably
LSU
5 years ago.
18 probably.
Yeah. So 5-6 years ago. But typically these are not like the best teams.
Right.
Think about it. I mean, the average person from Louisiana,
Yeah.
LA people could drive.
Right.
And you could stay in a shitty hotel.
Right.
And maybe for $2,000, you could do the whole experience. $3,000. LSU people, they look like they had money. Everyone had fat Rolexes.
Right.
Everyone had wads of cash. You know, the women had nice bags and jewelry.
Right.
It is such a big business.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about NFL, college football. Like LSU is worth $2 billion.
Yeah, I said Ohio
Yeah.
State's 3 to 4 billion.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think
In the
like
last pod.
this.
But here's also just to add to that, we went to Delilah both nights. So like Friday night, they had both bands come.
USC band. I don't remember the other school's band, but I only saw USC's.
LSU's band came, and the roars were absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because here's the
And
thing.
think about it, like we know what a Delilah bill costs,
Yeah.
and they were the majority of the restaurant.
Yeah.
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 And then there was a DraftKings party as well, where our friend Kelly James was performing. That was LSU as well.
Yeah, he crushed it.
He crushed it.
I didn't
He
see you
performed
guys
at
and then at the
Delilah or
end.
no?
You left, yeah.
Did he perform at Delilah? Who posted, or did he perform at that party after?
He performed
on the side area. The DraftKings
patio?
had like half the
Oh,
restaurant.
I see. I
booked,
see. I see.
And then the regular just attendees of Delilah.
honestly, if you're like a big corporation, he's the perfect.
He's so good.
He's the perfect,
Yeah.
honestly, musician.
He's.
I
such
mean,
a,
he crushes it.
he cried. It was
He
so
doesn't
good. I
need it.
watched.
Yeah.
I was right behind
Yeah,
you.
no, I know.
Yeah.
We just didn't see you afterwards.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll note is CeeLo Green.
What about
I
him?
had no idea how good he is.
Did you? We were there during the Super Bowl. He performed Sunday night.
I know, but I forgot.
Yeah, he's great.
He performed also.
He
Yeah.
performed the
Sunday.
Sunday night.
No.
Monday. Yeah,
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Yeah, he's talented.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And he plays like Viva Las Vegas and
Right.
like old school Vegas, Frank Sinatra stuff.
How do they do performances like every?
I think jazz nights, Sunday nights.
Right.
They'll do
And
stuff.
then probably
like-
big events, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just numbers, 9.3 million people watched the USC LSU game.
which is just blockbuster.
Like how many
That's
things get
bananas.
9.3 million viewers
Yeah,
on a
nothing.
live television,
Just other-
linear
And what's crazy?
television.
Nothing.
Keep in mind, DirecTV is in a dispute with the Disney
Yes.
Channel
Yeah.
right now, Disney Network, which is ABC, Disney Channel, ESPN.
Yeah.
During the US Open, right before the USC game, ESPN was cut off, ABC cut off. People could not watch it. First of all,
So it should have been 20, probably.
no, not that many.
15?
I don't know if DirecTV, let's say another few million people, easily 12,
Yeah.
13 million people. But what's fascinating by that strong move
Yeah.
by DirecTV,
Yeah.
do people leave DirecTV because of it? Because now you can get the NFL package on YouTube.
YouTube TV, yeah.
So you don't really need DirecTV. But I do
Right.
like ruining people's experience as like a
A business move.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Like
It's effective.
because like, was the reaction to think that DirecTV customers were going to complain to Disney or ABC and ESPN,
Yeah.
and then hopefully that they come back to the table? It's obviously over money.
Yeah.
It's a dispute.
Yeah.
But I'll just just to wrap on the game, college football is the passion of college football.
Yeah.
I know NFL fans are very passionate, but NFL has become, and it's always been like this. It's there's core fans who just love the game and watch, but it's fantasy, it's gambling, it's survivor pool, it's very much.
Right.
Whereas like college, don't get me wrong, 100% of the people there were gambling on the game,
Right.
Yeah.
but just seeing like people like that raw passion and emotion for just, you just so happen to go to school there. And so
Right.
you're fucking committed for the rest of your life.
Right.
And what's funny is that, and I tweeted this and I actually meant it because I applied this to myself
Mm-hmm.
as a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
When I told my parents I really want to go to USC, they're like, why? I was like, because I want to stay in LA. I want to live in LA when I'm older. Like, those were things in my head.
Yeah.
The real reason why I wanted to go there
Yeah.
was I started thinking like 30 years from now, what is going to be my connection to the school? What is a professor?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's going to be a football team. And USC was a good football team in
At the
90s.
time. Right.
And I was like, when I'm older, my connection to USC will truly just be through football.
Yeah.
And it's,
And by the way, like it was this weekend.
That-
it was my exact,
Mhm.
my fresh, the first day of freshman year, my first day stepping on the campus was meeting Brian Toll, John Turgeon,
Right.
and a lot of the other friends that we saw this weekend. And I was like, there's literally like why I went to this school.
Yeah.
To build this relationship. And
Yeah, I mean, we had 25, 30 people in our group, I think. And our only connection is the school.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. It's crazy to me as like an outsider from the USC crew, but still friends with you guys. Like it is like a lifelong connection and also something that you all share forever.
Yeah. And there's like people that I like kind of know, but when the touchdown scored, we're all hugging, we're screaming, we're yelling.
Right.
And it's pretty unique. And there's this like bond you have, and it's through sports.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
And the other thing I'll say is, I know we see all the fights at the NFL games.
Yeah.
I didn't see any violence.
I'll tell you why.
At the
Because it
college.
is a college-educated crowd. It's just a reality.
Yeah,
When you watch, I saw a fight at the Niners, whatever game recently.
There was in the preseason
Two
game.
must be dead. By the way, speaking of Niners, what in the fuck's sake is happening in San Francisco? I know you think that San Francisco can come back. I'm telling you, when a first round...
I don't want to laugh at this. Sorry.
First round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers got shot in the chest by a 17-year-old gang member from Tracy, California that was arrested and released 3 days earlier. Can you imagine? You just hit the lottery. Your parents pushed you. Practice, run, sweat, throw up. And then you get shot in the fucking chest.
But only in the
It's
NFL, you're out 4 games. He's back after 4 games.
Right. It's just, and
Because it
look,
went
I mean,
through his chest and exited his back. And
it's really only 4 games. It didn't hit anything.
he didn't hit anything. They said he's out for 4 games.
But it's okay. He got very lucky. He got
Through his body.
Yeah.
It went in and
Well,
out.
no, they put him on injured reserve, meaning he cannot play for 4 games. I don't think
You
he's
know they're
playing
playing
in
him
four
You know,
games.
the NFL game 4, they're gonna be like, he just looks
I mean,
fine.
it's going to be blockbuster. It's
not a concussion.
He's the new
And he's a
Hamlin.
star.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and look, I obviously San Francisco is worse, but I just want to also reiterate the same thing is happening here.
Yeah, so I one of my best friends and his wife and his kid were here for a wedding this past weekend.
Yeah.
They
From where?
stayed from San Francisco.
Okay.
They stayed at the Roosevelt. That's where the wedding
Yeah.
Okay.
was happening.
Well, I have my thoughts on that.
And
Right.
they didn't know. They were just like, this
Good
is where
place
the
to get
wedding
shot in
is.
the chest. Yeah.
And
They're like, oh, this feels like home.
Yeah, literally. Is that shit on the floor? Ah, smells like my place.
so they drove from the Roosevelt to where I live to see our kids and
Yeah.
see us. And he's like, I didn't know LA's a third world country.
And he's from San Francisco.
So San Francisco, he goes, I know San Francisco's bad, but I didn't know LA is this bad.
Right. So, I mean, yes, it's like on one hand, I don't want
Because
to.
think about Roosevelt to where I live, he probably had to go through.
Yeah. Roosevelt to you, where you live, it's half shit and then half beautiful. Yeah. So I don't want to like skip over this story, but I just want to almost say like, that's a LA thing too. I heard a story, well, I don't even remember the details now, but like a guy, home invasion, whatever, and like
Yeah, I like
stabbed
how
in
home
the-
invasions, whatever. At this point.
Literally, that's what's insane. But you know what's so crazy to me is it keeps happening like high profile. It keeps happening to celebrities, to football players, to also everyday people. There's zero talk.
No.
Like 10 years ago, I believe, and tell me if you agree or not, if this guy, Ricky, got shot in the chest
National news.
on the street, not only national news, but there is a press conference by the mayor the next day about how they are adjusting to never let this happen again.
No, they're not trying to fix what's happening again.
But today they just don't even, like, this guy's probably, the guy who shot him's probably out.
This is the part of like why I cannot support the Democratic Party is that it's so straightforward what needs to be done here to solve this problem. in San Francisco.
You got to put them in jail.
They did it when G came to
lock
town.
people up. If you commit a crime,
I don't know
you're
if
gonna be locked up.
I think that's just very left-leaning DAs that just have a view.
Yeah.
But these guys keep winning, so people are voting for them. They win.
I think the people that vote for him aren't dealing with the crime. So I think I brought this up on this podcast. So like where we all live and go to restaurants and stuff, crime is rampant.
Yeah.
But there's 6 million people in like Porter Ranch and Granada Hills where there's no crime.
Right.
No, well, let me tell you. I just heard
there's crime.
No, in Woodland Hills right now, fucking chaos. I have a friend who just built an insane house in Woodland Hills, and his family does not want to move there.
Right.
This is Woodland Hills.
I mean, they got to Encino.
This is
It's
one
just
of the
one more.
sleepiest fucking parts in the country. Woodland Hills was so sleepy.
Did you see that Aurora, Colorado shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. And are the Hells Angels
by the way, they're
actually
not doing
going there?
I
anything
think
about
that's a TikTok joke.
That's a TikTok
I don't know,
joke.
maybe, but like, yeah. So for the listener, if you didn't hear about it, apparently a migrant gang from El Salvador or something.
I think it was
Venezuela.
The Chileans have infiltrated Los Angeles, by the way.
Right. So it seems like the Chileans took Los Angeles. The Venezuelans went to Aurora, Colorado. There's particularly this one apartment building where it looks like they've like taken it over and like kicked people out of their apartments and turned it into their own apartment building with their own rules and obviously lots of guns. And regular people are just kicked out.
And the city has done jack shit.
Yeah.
So
it feels like the Twilight Zone, man. And I don't want to keep getting on here and talking about Democrats, but like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy.
Yeah.
the crime is definitely needs to be addressed. And as the woke on the pod,
Right.
I 100% agree.
Right. That's why you're not like, you're a little asleep. If you were full wokey, you'd be like, no, guys, social justice, this is going to work out. No cash.
Yeah, I think most people probably believe.
But let me ask you this, hopefully without starting an argument. Don't you think that
I like,
the idea is,
I like how you initiate the.
I'm trying.
it throws the Molotov cocktail and says, sorry.
Don't you think that Kamala is like, she's a San Francisco
prosecutor.
wokey. Like she buys into these.
You guys were telling me that she was tough on crime.
She was tough on a certain race.
Yeah.
But she's changed her views.
Well, she's changed her views 3 times.
Yeah.
So
And
as the only person that is voicing
Only person of color.
liberal views,
Yeah.
a famous black USC athlete that was with us the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
He grew up in the hood.
Yep. In LA?
No, I'm not going to say the state because you can
That'll
figure
give
it
away.
out.
Yep.
And he went and bought a Donald Trump shirt that, had the fight. And they do fight on for like USC. And he wore it to the game.
A good collab. And he's on Team Trump.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a joke.
No. Him and his boy both bought shirts.
I think there's a chance.
And he wore
Trump landslides this shit.
Yeah.
He wore it to Delilah Vegas.
Right. And people, nobody cared, I'm sure.
No one gave a shit.
I mean, think about it.
I
Once
was the
again-
only liberal in Delilah Vegas.
Right. And I'm sure you had fun about it. Like you're not like, you're not going to talk shit. Like if you would have done that in 2016 or even 2020.
And if you knew his background, you'd be shocked.
Right. Oh, I'm so curious. Anyway, look, we don't need to get back into that topic, but like, I feel like we're living in crazy town. And the fact that these things are happening. And once again, I believe 10 years ago, there would have been a press conference about how, wow, we can't believe this happened in our city. We need to keep our streets safe. We can promise you that it's okay to go out at night or whatever, even though this was in the day, it looks like. And now it's nothing. It's like we're just ignoring it. It's so crazy.
Did you guys hear Reid Hoffman on All In?
I did. I listened to him.
I did.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
It was
thought
good. It was
he
a good
held his
conversation.
own in the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's the Lions Den. I mean, Friedberg and Jason.
Sachs was going after him. I thought he held his own with
Yeah,
Sachs.
I mean, I think it's fine.
It was fine. It was a good conversation. More people should do that.
Yeah.
I feel like Democrats don't
Do you hear the new?
don't have those type of
the new-
conversations a lot.
The new Harris move. She wears a headset when she walks off, so she doesn't have to walks into the plane and walks off the plane. So she doesn't have to take any
Bullshit.
questions. Swear to God,
Doesn't have to what? Sorry.
take any questions.
What do you mean by a headset? Like fucking AirPods?
No, like wired. I wear wired
Like
headphones.
the CIA? Oh, like headphones.
Headphones. You probably just listen to music.
Like Miles at the game
Yeah.
watching Kung Fu Panda.
It's really like, I wish the election could if I wish I would love to see the results of the election with no mainstream media, no cheating on both sides, just people voting. What would happen?
Yeah, because like even the one thing I always fall into this. The one thing even about Reid Hoffman was he was like, oh yeah, January 6th, and like they killed multiple police officers.
He was wrong.
And like they didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that some fucked up shit didn't happen. I'm not saying January 6th was cool. I'm not saying it was all fake. But like there's so much like
there
lies
was
and
cops that were
exaggerating.
injured for sure.
They were injured, but that's a big
But he
difference.
said they died.
He said they killed 2 police officers. It's just not true.
Yeah, even he believes.
And if Trump said that like blah, 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 and they killed 2 police officers, everyone would lose their fucking mind. But like we don't play by the same rules. And it's so strange to me.
But I think his point with January 6th was,
Look, January 6th was fucked.
yeah, he was basically like, I believe in
Right.
the criminal justice system. I want 12 jurors to figure out.
Right. Agreed. But it's just that point of like, man, you guys can lie.
I don't think he said killed 2.
He did.
he did. He said
promise you he did.
Sachs corrected him.
Because I was like, damn, bro. Like that's where he lost me. Because I just feel like I'm getting a little jaded about like the ability of one
But
side
one
to play by
police
different
officer
rules.
did die.
He committed suicide after the fact.
Yes.
Which we have no idea
Yeah.
what was going on in his personal life. We have no idea. And it's just a big difference to do that as opposed to be murdered by protesters. The way that looks, like they broke into the Capitol and murdered cops, that's crazy. If a guy committed suicide after, don't get me wrong, tragic and terrible. And especially if it was because of directly of what he experienced that day, but it is different. And like we have to, it's just if Trump did it, like literally after the debate with Joe Biden, did you see that the whole technique was how many lies Trump told? That was because they couldn't focus on Biden. And I just wish we were playing fair. Anyway, we could do this for 3 hours. Which I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
But
It's fun.
I do think, let me just throw this out there. I am seeing continuously in my personal life that it feels like everyone except Anand and one other person is a
Anand doesn't even have the other person. He doesn't know another person.
My wife.
Yeah,
I know
that's
one
it.
other person that I spoke to. I'll tell you
My
guys off
mom.
air.
No, but males. Do you know any males?
That are liberal?
Yeah.
I do.
They're
And they're rich males too.
voting Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala.
Look at you.
I slipped. Okay. Anyway, everyone except for Anand and one other person I know are either outspoken or closeted Trump, voting for Trump, including like 26-year-old women. It's weird. And so like, I feel like there was already this like secret Trump vote in 2016. And now I'm just so curious. It feels in my, if I just judge it by my personal life, if that was a poll, it's fucking 90%.
I understand what you're saying because I see it
I'm just
firsthand.
curious.
No, I see it firsthand.
Right.
I'm not like foolish about this, but I thought Reid Hoffman did a great job in the interview, to be honest.
I'm not mad at him. That's the thing that gets
Like
me.
he's so smart and he was
Yeah,
able
but
to.
he doesn't. But his point, Sachs actually made a really interesting point. He said, "We've now just accepted she made this horrible tax policy, but it's never going to pass. So who cares? So she can just say whatever she
Right.
wants
but
because
that's
she
the same with
knows."
Trump.
But
No,
what?
but, like,
What's Trump's version of that?
Those people actually want it to pass.
Yeah, what's
whatever
Trump's
he's saying?
What's Trump's version?
Trump's version of the tax policy.
Yeah.
I would say his view on guns, abortion, IVF.
So here's
No,
the
but
difference.
his fans want that.
Here's the difference. His supporters don't say, yeah, but Congress is going to handle that. They're like, yeah, we like that, America.
They like that.
I'm saying Kamala's fans, supporters have to like kind of
Adjust.
rationalize away like, no, but that's just part of it's just weird. It's just a strange. it's just strange. But we'll see. I felt like there was something else I was going to add.
Did you listen to RFK too?
Yeah, I'm still listening to it.
Let me ask you this, Anna. I want to ask this. I'm fucking myself on this podcast because everyone's just like, you fucking MAGA.
Yeah.
I have an honest question as the liberal of the pod. When people say things like Reid Hoffman, I like to see the justice system play out. I think people that do crimes should be whatever. What about the question of, okay, is there no charges that Hillary committed with the leading emails and things like that and these different things? Don't you think we should also see how the justice system plays out for her?
Yeah, if a prosecutor wanted to prosecute her, but they should.
Right, but they don't.
They don't. They'll never touch her. She's untouchable.
And doesn't that feel to you like a little...
No, I think if there was a case against her, there would be a case.
Well, yeah, no.
You think that, really?
Yeah, I actually do.
You don't think it's like skewed a little? Like which team is doing the prosecuting?
I think if you believe that, then you have no faith in the justice system.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say no faith, but I would say that this feels a little fishy.
I would say
Like
if there was, I mean, if you think about the number of federal judges Trump appointed during his term,
but judges can't bring cases
that are Republicans,
they played a different game.
I think there's also an element of they don't play that game. The Democrats are choosing to play a game. I mean, they asked Trump in an interview, what about Hillary, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm not saying Trump's the man of, truth in his word, but he said, I don't think that's a good look to lock up the wife of a former president. I wouldn't do that.
They're like LSU fans, just, respectful.
Polos.
They're polos.
I'm saying if there was, they impeached Clinton over getting a blowjob in the Oval Office.
Yeah, but they impeached Trump too over like a debatable phone conversation, not a blowjob in the fucking Oval Office.
Yeah, blowjob's a little bit bigger.
Blowjob's wild. Imagine Trump got a blowjob.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, once again, I really don't even want to talk about fucking politics because I think the last few years and this time around is all a fucking joke.
I think politics dies down this week because of football.
Right. But I mean,
for
how long? It's just,
for me, till February.
For you?
Personally, I was looking at Twitter and reading a lot of things about politics. And the moment Saturday hit, I did not give a fuck. All I've been reading today is about SEC people talking shit about LSU and how great SC is. SC's going to the national title game.
I mean, you're good.
Howard said that.
You just got some freedom, but we're still going. I mean,
I know, but
till November. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's not the point. The point is, I don't want to pretend like political debater guy. Yeah. I just feel sort of sick of like these crime stories and these different things. And like, it just feels not fair.
Obviously, crime's not fair. No one wants crime.
Right.
Do you think anyone wakes up and saying, I want crime?
Gascon.
Yeah, I think he does.
I do. I don't understand how else you could. I would literally love to be able to have a conversation with anyone who, not even on the podcast, anything. I just want to understand that is believes in these policies. Why? Please make me understand what the goal is and what metric you're tracking that looks good. Because it looks like you're just destroying our best cities.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. The crime is obviously unacceptable. Yeah. And I've always been pretty outspoken about that. And I think
it's weird too, because I think most people on the left feel the way you do. Like, I think you got to be real extreme to be like, fuck it. They can have the apartment complex.
It's hard to.
But like, it's fucking election time.
Have the complex. Just don't take the houses, take the complex.
You can have that. I mean, not a big deal. But like, we're coming up to election. It just doesn't feel like they're really like.
I think it's similar to Trump, where a lot of people said they would never vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And
including JD Vance.
And I think
JD Vance is the one that called him Hitler, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's like there's a shift happening where he kind of came a little bit more to the middle and people were like, fuck, all right, like my options are limited and I'm more aligned with this person. And I think the Democrats could so easily win by a landslide.
Easily.
The people they are pandering to with this ridiculous tax plan, the bullshit,
I think it's the
race baiting
they
shit.
do that for the
It's such
unions.
a small audience.
No, but they do it for the unions. You'd be shocked how many unions around like the country that love to hear that stuff.
Right, but the union.
Everyone's doing
Depends what union. Police unions are voting for Trump.
Yeah,
You're just saying that's for the
Firefighters-
lobby, because I think all the voters that are represented by the union are probably more Trumpy.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the
so.
unions are as democratic as they used to be. I think like JFK's fucking Democrats, they were union
Look,
friendly.
politicians are politicians, and politics is dirty. You're going to say whatever you can say to potentially win.
Right, but I think it's a miscalculation to say what they're saying. I think they are. It's almost like if you go, like you're going towards the vocal minority, not the silent majority of the Democratic Party. As my guess. I mean, I'm no political strategist. We'll see in November, but it feels fucking crazy.
It's going to come down to the wire, and we'll see. And
I can't wait. It's going to be riveting.
It just sucks that it's 5 states. I wish the whole country had to say.
I just can't wait. It's like, I mean, these motherfuckers are going to debate.
September 5th, is it? Or 9th?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming up.
Blockbuster.
I think 10th maybe. Yeah, but it's coming.
I feel like, Trump Biden was like, great.
Yeah.
But then now we go another, it's like next up it's like UFC,
Yeah, it is.
like the next
They
challenger
should do
for
it
the
at the
belt.
Sphere.
They should. Dana White should produce it.
I think, we can just talk on it forever. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay. I can't wait. I mean, look, at the end of the day, who knows? Maybe it's the end of the, dynasty or whatever of America. But shit's going to be really fucking exciting. Okay. Next up, if you need some extra cash, we have a solution.
Commit check fraud.
Commit check fraud. The problem is, just like our high school football plan, we're a little late. They already got to it. And, also funny tie-in of how check fraud can go viral just like a hot sale on Black Friday on TikTok.
Yes.
And
I think young people appreciate how dumb they are when they are literally committing crimes on TikTok daily.
let me just say I think they are extremely dumb, but I think that the value of a hot TikTok
is worth more to them.
Is worth more to them than committing a crime. And if you have to commit a crime in the open, but you go viral and you get 1 million views, worth it.
Remember the Kia car
Boys,
theft?
the Kia boys?
Yeah. Remember they used to show how you break into a Kia and you can steal the car?
Mm-hmm.
That went viral on TikTok. And
Right, but
everyone's
that's-
posting them stealing Kias.
Oh, you're right. Right, because the content, the clout is worth more than the crime.
Yeah. So
So what happened? Can we talk about what happened?
So basically,
There was a glitch.
someone started posting on TikTok that when you go to Chase Bank and you basically use fake checks and you deposit, they credit you for that money immediately.
Right.
And then you take all the money out.
Right.
And so everyone started doing it. And
So no matter if you have the funds,
yes,
you could write the check and say 20 grand.
yes.
And it's going to credit 20 grand.
Yeah. And by the way, this isn't like new news. People have been doing this since the dawn of banks.
Right.
But the fact that everyone did it, talked about it, and then posted that they did it and got money out of it.
Right.
Now they're all posting that their bank account is negative 20,000, negative 30,000 because Chase fixed the glitch. No, you committed fraud.
It's
you got
just-
caught.
right. It's just check fraud going viral.
Yes, check fraud has officially gone viral.
Right.
If your kid asks to open a Chase Bank, arrest him or her before they go and ruin their life.
So it's kind of like saying, did you know if you take a gun into a jewelry store, they'll give you whatever you ask for? And everyone's like,
But they
oh,
were
shit.
able-
Really? I'm going to take a gun to the Rolex shop.
Right.
So they were able to get the cash and their accounts get closed. Is that what happens?
They get the cash,
Yes.
and then what
No,
ends
the
up
account
happening is
doesn't get closed.
they're negative.
The account goes negative. So people are posting negative 20,000, 5,000, 30,000. They're like, oh my God, the
They thought it
glitch
was free
fixed.
money. They thought
oh
it
my
was-
God, the glitch was fixed.
Right. They thought it was free money.
Yeah.
And to your point, they're posting to brag.
Yes.
And are they going to get prosecuted? I guess if you're in LA or SF, no.
True.
I think people have literally lost their damn mind when it comes to illegal activity. And it starts with not prosecuting people who steal things. And
Right.
so I was at the Rite Aid near my house, and I live in the Rite Aid near my house is questionably
I mean,
horrible.
I would never go
I
there.
would never.
It is, I take my kids there. It is literally the scariest thing in the world.
But like, yeah, like if you ask me right now to drive there and go in and grab some
Deodorant.
deodorant,
Yeah.
no amount of money.
Nobody, by the way, no one's in there either.
Right.
I went to go buy, my kids' birthdays was last week. One of the toys that someone got them had D batteries.
Yep.
So it was at night and birthday was in the morning. I was like, can you get it before they wake up? I was like,
It was
can
nighttime.
you go in the morning and you want to go at night? I'm like, I'll just go now. This was 7:45 p.m. I walked there.
It's dark.
It's dark.
Right.
Or it's starting to get dark.
Right.
I go inside to get batteries. There's no one there. Finally, I go to a lady. I'm like, can I please get these batteries? They're behind the glass case.
Right.
I go, for fucking batteries?
Yeah.
You have every battery's behind a glass case now? I understand, like, I was asking for a 12 pack of D's. That's $20. So I
Yeah.
get this. Why is every battery?
Right.
She's like, the whole fucking store should be locked up.
Yep.
That's what she tells me.
Yeah.
Old lady who I've been seeing at that location. I've been in that neighborhood 20 plus years. I've been seeing her the whole time.
That old
And she
lady's
was like,
probably
the whole
seen some
fucking
shit.
place should be locked up.
Yeah.
And by the way, half the fucking aisles are empty already.
Yeah. But that's not unique to LA because in
San Francisco, of course, there's nothing.
New
They
York,
just shut down the whole store.
New York too.
New York, Soho,
Yeah.
I went to a CVS that
No, but all these big cities you
On
can't-
Spring Street.
you can't go anywhere.
But there was a bunch of viral videos of people just clearing out New York, Dwayne Reed's and stuff.
But
Yeah.
I think these Chase Bank glitch, I don't know why they call it a glitch, it's a check fraud gone viral, happens when,
Right.
as a society, you start normalizing, under $900, don't worry.
Right.
We understand. It was systemic
Right.
why you ended up in this situation. We, white people, feel so guilty.
Yeah, take it.
You know, I was so mean to you as a
Yes.
child and I ruined your life.
Right.
And so what the fuck is going on?
My worry is like, and I this might sound a little too like high horsey, but like, I worry that like the cultural like perception of what it takes to get money is changing. Like, meaning if you saw someone with a nice car or you saw someone with a nice watch, your old thought was like, damn, what would I have to build? Or, you know, what school would I have to go to or whatever to get one of those one day? And now I think the perception is a little bit more like, yo, who can I scam or what can I rob to get that next week?
Yeah, and I think and there was a Pew Research study that I don't know if we put it in our chat or not, but or someone in our chat shared it, and it said, do parents and children think they have it better or worse than previous generations?
Right.
And parents overwhelmingly said that they felt that their kids have it worse. And the number one reason was because of technology and social media. And they also countered with themselves being contradictory that technology has also given them access to information and,
Right.
you know, access to friendships and relationships that they never had before. So this like boom of technology has brought in insane opportunity,
Yeah.
but at what cost?
It's literally like we like invented the gun or the, I don't know, sugar or whatever. And like just gave it to everyone first
Yeah.
and then said like, I don't know, we'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Like it's just because it could be such a great tool.
And the reason why that happened
Yeah.
is the same reason why sugar is everywhere and why our food is processed is our elected officials
Yeah. Or bought.
at some point 30 years ago were some of the best and brightest.
Right.
They were highly educated, and people who went to Washington were like the elite class, like highly educated class.
But it's when we allowed money to get into it.
I know,
when
and then
lobbies and all that
and then
shit.
when money got into it, and then when people realized, oh shit, if I become a politician, I can make money,
Right.
and that has shifted the morals of basically the country because everything is for sale at any point.
Right.
And when you look at why crime is happening the way it is, why the food is processed the way it is, social media, our best and brightest, 10 years ago, people in San Francisco were like, oh yeah, you don't want your kids on that shit. It's fucking horrible.
Right.
But no one from that community was represented in Congress, in Senate, in the White House. And so after all the damage was happened, they're like, what's Wi-Fi? Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah. Tell me why my
Yeah.
Google doesn't work on your Wi-Fi, Mark Zuckerberg.
It's actually
Some senator from fucking LSU. It's like,
With his polo on.
yeah.
it's actually pretty funny. Most of my friends who are in tech that have been in tech for the last 15 years,
Yeah.
none of them use social media.
Yeah.
You know why? Because
And none
it's
of them-
bad.
None of them also like are pounding sugar and fucking drinking sodas. It's like all these people and whatever. I mean, it's also
That's the
the
elite
freedom
class.
of America, but like none of these people make these products. Their own kids don't indulge in it, but then they spend a bunch of money to lobby to make sure that everyone else's kids do. And it's just fucking nuts. It's just the money in politics. And I think the dumbest take that makes me so mad every time I hear someone say it is that our politicians should be public servants and make no money.
That's stupid.
I think that is exactly why this happens. I think we
Yeah.
should pay them accordingly and structure bonuses
Well, if
and
you think
anything
about
just
it-
like a CEO. And they should be paid really, really well for doing a great job.
So if you think about it, right, there's 400 plus House of Representatives and 100 senators, right?
Right.
I think it's 430 House of Representatives. So you're talking about like 530 people plus the president
Yeah.
decide a
Yeah.
$35 trillion economy.
Like if that was a business, that's a relatively small business. That's a CEO and 500 people. That's not that big. Pay them really fucking well, admire them, look at their stats and their data, give them bonuses.
I didn't even really quantify it until just now.
Like what company is that size? It's like, that's not a big company.
530. Is it 435 or 430?
Whatever. It's
Whatever
not
it
that
is.
many people.
Nothing.
No, I'm saying in the House. I know it's 100 senators, right? Like,
It's just absurd. And I keep hearing people be like, no, you should be a public servant. You shouldn't. Why would we expect that?
No, and
That's what
and
opens the
if
door for-
if you want the smartest people to help form what the future of this country look like,
Right.
then you should compensate them accordingly.
Right.
I've said this before. If you incentivize politicians based on results, we would have a very different outcome.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're the superintendent of the school district of LAUSD and you said you get a 99% graduation rate, reading equivalency of a proper 12th grader, math equivalency of a proper 12th grader.
Yeah.
Forget going to college because that is an economic thing. You just make sure these kids are this. I give you $10 million.
Right.
and if you think
I'll go do it.
and you think
You
about
told me I could be superintendent of the schools, and if I would fucking drive up to every school,
Yeah.
be like, are we fucking reading? Are we writing? What are we doing?
Yes.
Like, let's fucking go. $10
Yeah.
million bucks in my pocket.
Right. But instead we're like, no, they should do it for the love of humanity.
Yeah, why? Why? If you're the best teacher at Fairfax High School,
Right.
and your students crush it, make $500,000. Fuck it.
All day.
Yes. Because by the way, you know what happens when you have a really good school? All the property in the neighborhood explodes.
Right.
You're talking about people move to neighborhoods to be next to a school
Right.
all day. You're
Right.
talking tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate value is created just because there's a school that's good.
Yeah.
So imagine if the school also participated in that.
Well, imagine like the money, if you start to talk about like the lobbies for like, let's just say sugar and blah, 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 that goes into
Big sugar.
big sugar versus the amount of money spent on like all of the treatments of all these illnesses that everyone has.
Yep.
It's the money's worth it. pay these people so they're uncorruptible. Take the lobbying out. It's so dumb. I heard someone over the weekend be like, well, no, they should do it. They should be public servants. And like, no, they shouldn't.
No, fuck
Nancy
that.
Pelosi should have, she needs, obviously, I'm not saying she's good or bad. I'm saying she obviously needs a path to $100 million because she's going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
She's got it.
Yeah.
Give them that.
Yeah, the problem.
I'm all for everyone who is doing something good for the community should be overcompensated.
Yeah. That's why everyone complains about CEOs making so much money. If you affect $1 billion of market cap,
Yeah, you
get a
deserve it.
$10 million bonus.
Yeah. By the
Awesome.
way, for example, imagine if your home, you live in a neighborhood. Let's say Fairfax High School becomes one of the top high schools in the country.
That Rite Aid, all of a sudden, there's no batteries behind the.
But let me tell you that Rite Aid booming,
Yeah.
all of the neighborhood homes explode in value.
Right.
Restaurants, businesses, and at the end of the year, every business, every home has to give a bonus because the school outperformed.
Great.
By the way, no crime. Your property insurance goes down.
Yeah.
You are living you would happily give, if everyone in the neighborhood gave $1,000, now all of a sudden the entire staff
Yeah.
is fuck you rich.
You should be president.
I probably should.
I think you should.
Yeah.
You could probably clip that and just start to.
I think the problem is I couldn't run as a Democrat because I'd be RFK'd. Did you hear what he said? Like the Democrats just shut his ass down?
Yeah, of course.
And by the way,
They did it
just
to
so
old Bernie,
people, I
too.
know like he's a polarizing figure. He's a Kennedy.
Right.
Kennedy is royalty in America. Was.
I mean, if he can't do it, who can?
Exactly. No one can.
Right.
Well, he
The
also
party-
has some pretty out of the box views that are.
I know, but like,
No, but-
how come you can't let him on a debate stage and let the people decide?
Yeah, let the team.
They did the same thing to old Bernie. They did the same thing to Tulsi Gabbard. They're savages. I'm not saying the Republicans aren't too. I'm saying the process is
So
fucking.
why didn't he go against Trump and the Republican Party and debate
He's
him?
not a Republican.
Yeah.
He said, I
He's-
do not agree. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I
He
did.
said, I do not agree with some
But
of the
he's
things.
trying to get in the cabinet.
He's in. He's on
in.
the
What is that
transition
getting
team.
in? He
doesn't
you
have
can't- They're not going to let him in the Democratic Party. They're not. They don't want kids to be healthy. They don't want to stop the war in Ukraine. They don't.
No, that's bullshit.
They do. No, of course. There's no policy that's helping health in America. Not health insurance, which is a fucking scam. I'm talking about health.
So, what do you think he thinks about health that is different than what other people do?
Did you see Time Magazine did an article a year ago that said processed foods are bad for you? They
course.
redid it and said why processed foods are not that bad for you.
So here's the thing about processed foods that no one wants to actually accept.
Mhm.
It's basically why America is not starving, because we can manufacture food at scale, and you can debate what the pluses and negatives of that
How come
at
Europe
scale.
can do it?
They don't have 400 million people.
I just think we.
As
in
an
the country.
entire EU, they do.
In Italy, they have a small
I'm talking about
population.
but they're
I think people
European
think about
Union.
Italy.
So I think that's wrong.
I think that even also like there's something to that is not wrong. We just do fucking way overkill,
I agree.
you know?
I don't think there should be as many processed foods as exist.
But to write an article right now that here's why it's not that bad for you, it's just like read the room.
But like
we're 80% fucking
RFK
obese or
didn't
whatever.
answer any of the thing about child vaccines, not COVID. So take COVID out of it.
But
I know,
we-
but
Jason
that's
asked
the one
him head
issue.
on.
But that's the one issue.
And then he thinks vaccines cause autism, and I'm the only one who has authority on this podcast to talk about autism because my kid is diagnosed with autism. The reason why autistic kids have soared in the last 15 years is they changed the goalpost. The goalpost is now if you're nonverbal at 2, which plenty of healthy developed kids are nonverbal at 2,
Yeah.
and they're able to talk at 3 or 4,
yeah.
you get an autism diagnosis.
And he says that's not true. You're saying that's what the doctors told you?
Yes, I know. I'm an expert at this.
Right.
As a non-medical professional, I know more about autism than anyone.
Okay, let me just say this. Because there's no way I'm going down this debate with you. I can't. I don't even have the information. The one thing I like that I will point out is that his whole slogan is make America healthy again. Like
and
just
there's nothing wrong with that.
mentioning
That's
it.
fine.
Just
Make America
like
healthy.
bringing it up.
I mean, I
just
have a
don't
fucking
hear-
sauna being built tomorrow.
Trump
I
and
just don't hear
Harris,
the other side talking about
Trump
it.
and Harris are not talking about health. Zero.
Like mention it. It
It
kills
is
me that
literally the single biggest thing that's killing America is our health. Killing.
Like the fact
More
that during
people than
COVID-
war and guns is health.
during COVID, the fact that no politician mentioned that obesity was such a contributor.
And the way
that's
Kennedy actually mentioned, he's like, what's better business than childhood obesity? You have a customer for life.
Right.
And when you think about it like that, and you know, it kills me when I go to the park and I see kids that are just visibly unhealthy.
Right. Because the other thing you pointed out was the child obesity rate or child diabetes. One doctor used to see it in one time in his whole career. Now there's like 1 out of 3 or something crazy.
Yeah.
There's other things. I just like that someone's talking about it.
It's there's only 2 faults to that.
Yeah.
Either parents in America have gone substantially worse. That
Okay.
they do not regulate what their child eats.
No,
Okay. Or the food is very unhealthy.
that one.
Okay. So,
And also,
because then we would say that American parents are worse than European parents, where European child
They don't have the
obesity-
options.
Yeah, that's my point.
Right.
Is that in Europe, they're able to feed the entire union with healthier food by just blocking certain ingredients in food.
That's
is
the
that
thing. It's
simple.
like they have Doritos there too. Theirs are just
They have
different.
Doritos. They have pizza. The whole fucking country just eats pizza.
Everyone
I
has
think
McDonald's.
it's a handful of countries. I don't think it's all of Europe. I think Italy, you're 100% right. Like the ingredients are fresher.
I mean, France are smoking
I think
and
that
drinking all day.
I think there are ingredients in America that are legal that are not legal in other countries that do not have to do with preserving the food.
Yeah.
That they just let them do, and they're often like
I'm
more
all
addictive.
for if you can get non-processed foods at scale to feed the country.
But that's not what I'm saying. I think you can still feed the country with processed foods by eliminating a lot of things that are overkill.
Yeah.
I think that. I'm no expert, but I think that you could substantially decrease the obesity rate.
I don't
just
think
think we
that's
do
a-
it to the max.
A Democrat-Republican issue, right? It's just
I don't
no
think
one's
either
talking about
one
it.
group I hear
party.
talking about it,
Kennedy's
that's
the
all.
only one talking about it. And by the way, everyone knows the saying, like, a healthy man has a million wishes, a sick man has one wish. And like, we know health is everything in life. Why not give our people better food? Give them a fucking shot.
We're back in it. We're back in the muck here. But the one thing that I will say is like, I don't hear the other side talking about a lot of these topics.
Any side. On this
No,
particular
I'm saying
topic-
now you have to lump RFK in with Trump.
Trump, yeah.
And the same way Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know how much you guys know about Tulsi Gabbard. I'm not that well versed on her. People really love her.
Yeah.
She's very, very anti-war.
Yeah.
But you know what the thing
And
is?
now they're all joining a little pack over there.
Yeah.
The thing about you always talk about the wars.
Yeah.
Republicans are the war hawks.
But I think someone
didn't
said that to me
change.
over the weekend too.
It's
That
only
changed.
Trump
But why?
that wants to like.
But let me just ask
He's
you.
the one running for president.
No, I want to ask you an honest question because somebody said this to me over the weekend too. Why do you say that?
So if you were to
Obama didn't like war?
No, last 4 years.
No.
Obama, yeah.
no, if you look at the
drone
Republican
guy.
senators, they would love to just obliterate Iran right now.
Right, but
Just nuke them.
yeah.
Republican senators, oh, you name them, name one. They all want to obliterate Iran.
Yeah.
That's a war.
Right.
That could cost a world war.
But what about the Democrats?
I don't see Democrats saying they want to obliterate Iran.
Right. So the question for me, honestly, is under
They're
Biden.
the war hawk party.
Right. But I think that's like a reputation that like, maybe that's part of why they don't like Trump either. And I like that. Because under Biden, we were very into wars. We sent a lot of fucking money
We
to
sent a lot of money to Ukraine. Sure.
It sounds like, once again, I don't want to go in over my head. It sounds like they not only didn't have a peace deal, but they actively shut down peace talks. And there is no talk, or it doesn't feel like we have a grasp on this Israel-Gaza issue, and there's a plan and there's a way to de-escalate. Because once again, no matter what side you're on, it is bad. And it shouldn't be happening, or there should be a plan.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask Republicans, they want to obliterate Gaza even more.
I know, but if you asked the Trump now team, they openly say, what about the argument, because I don't know anything about this, what about the argument that Trump makes that it wouldn't have happened under him
That's
because
bullshit.
he cut off Iran from funding?
Iran funded Hamas. That's true.
Iran definitely
And then
funds
Biden
Hamas.
reopened the money gates and gave them billions of dollars.
I think Iran was able to fund Hamas regardless of what the public statements
But
are.
that's not what happened, though. You see the action.
Hamas can get money from Qatar.
but
they can
don't-
get money
Qatar's
from-
not funding Hamas. They're not. They may be harboring them. They're not funding them.
I mean, but there's backdoor channels. Is my point.
Channels, sure, but I don't think they had the money. didn't
You're
have the money.
in the global commerce game. There's backdoor channels to everyone.
Yeah, but like, come on. Then it would have happened 5 years ago. What
Okay,
happened
so
now?
so that we don't get into a debate about things we don't know, I'll just say this. There's one group saying we should find a way to stop all of them. And under one presidency, none of them happened. We only got out of wars or planned to. And under another party, we jumped into a bunch.
So you think Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if Trump was president?
All I can go on, and keep in mind, I'm not voting for Trump. I just want to say that a million times. But all I can go on is
Everyone at USC LSU is.
right. All I can go on
Yeah.
is he didn't.
He got 64,000 votes.
That's-
Minus
no,
one.
63,999.
63,999. There were 64,000 people at the game.
Right.
63,999.
Right. But all I can go on is he didn't. So like, I'm not saying I don't know what he would have done, but it's just like, I remember, I said this before, but like, I thought this war footage and shit was something we would never see again. And now it's like so common.
But America's not, we're funding 100%, over 100 plus billion, but American soldiers aren't at war.
Well, I know, but supposedly, but we're funding all of it.
Yeah.
Both of them. And like, as a taxpayer, I'm just curious, like with all the problems we have here, I would even be okay with like, hey, we feel like we have to be involved. We need to send
dip our
a couple
toe.
checks.
Yeah.
We need to dip our toe just like the old days. But here's our plan for how to, like, we're at least talking. We're talking and Putin is not having it. We've offered 10 solutions. He doesn't want any of them. We've tried everything. There's no...
Here's a problem with politics
No, we don't
today.
say-
We actually don't know that because those backroom dealings,
I know,
we
but you don't think
we're
they
not
would
privy.
say it?
You have to
That
say
makes
it, though.
Putin look so bad. You could be like, hey, we're trying everything. We want peace. He wants war. They don't even talk about it. It's like the crime in San Francisco. Talk about it. Say it's bad. Just say, we know it's not good, but like we're going through some shit.
Gavin is.
What's he saying? Fucking
He's
the
cleaning
menu
up,
change
he's
at
cleaning up
Prince Laundry.
encampments.
Yeah, he literally just
motherfucker-
like dug a fucking hole.
Cleaned up one tent
Yeah.
and went back to the valley. Anyway, where are we at?
So I want to end on a positive note.
Please.
Our friend Rich over at Fashion Nova.
Yeah, great name for him, you know?
His name is- he's
talk
rich.
about
Yeah.
like destiny
Yeah.
of your name.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to your parents.
Shout out to your parents. He has that on Instagram, right? Just
Yeah,
at
he's
Rich.
at Rich. I mean,
This guy just is fulfilling his destiny.
fulfilling
And
his
he
destiny.
continues to do it.
Just bought a $118 million building in Beverly Hills.
Must have been a good deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very shrewd businessman. He owns
Good
insane
time.
real estate. It's public knowledge. You could see all the homes, and he's bought all over LA. And this guy, his business has just been unbelievable. He's made a shitload of cash. He's buying real estate. And Fashion Nova, you know, he's a good friend. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, people were laughing at him.
And I can't believe how long, like it's still crushing.
Yeah.
It felt to me, even when it was crushing like 6 years ago, like something that would be kind of temporary.
No, it's forever crushing.
Yes.
So in the article, it says 407 Maple Drive. Where is that?
That's
exactly?
like where the old, like, it's like that pocket of buildings north of Burton Way, south of Beverly Boulevard. It's like in that whole little area.
Okay.
It's insane. It's like if I could ever have a dream office location,
Right.
that is it.
Right. There's no crime over there.
Oh no.
No. There's drones.
And you know, kudos to him to come to LA, staying in LA, building the company in LA, Beverly Hills, and It's awesome to see. I mean, like when I see like Fashion Nova and Revolve just crush it,
Yeah.
like that just feels so good to me.
Yeah.
Because it feels that's like, you know how like everyone has like things that are attainable in their life.
Right.
As far as I'm away from them, I feel attainable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Because they're also just, I don't know how to say it even, and also not accidentally be rude, but like they came up through the LA scene
Yeah.
in a norm. They're not like, oh, some killer, you know, New York finance fucking scene. Like they are LA people
Yeah.
that we have seen around for a long time.
And
Oh, I just looked it up. It's where the Goop is.
I don't know what the Goop is.
Goop is
Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
What is that?
It's a restaurant.
Oh.
That I know
Kitchen.
exactly what building
Yeah,
he
but
bought.
it's north of Burton.
It's right by the Mercedes dealership.
Yeah, south of Beverly.
Right.
It's right there.
And it looks like he has really, from
No,
his
south
post,
of Santa Monica.
Yeah, but it's like
Not
Beverly,
Beverly.
and Santa Monica Boulevard.
It's
meet.
basically
That's where they meet. Beverly and Santa Monica.
This is
meet.
very niche.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
we've entered a very niche part of the podcast.
Yeah, you can edit that out.
No,
No, it's
keep it.
fine.
That's
it's
what
fine.
people want to hear.
Yeah. Go visit it. Go look at it.
Yeah.
It looked like from his post, like he has really big plans for it too, like
Yeah.
to make like a
Creator
entrepreneur.
headquarter.
Yeah.
Look, I think he has like a very big vision for his business, and he is, I would say, and his business is doing great from outside looking in. I have no idea the inside of it.
I mean, this is a good.
Obviously, a good signal.
Yeah.
If he weathered the Shein Temu storm, I think the laws will
Right.
eventually change. The sentiment will change for those businesses. He's going to end up better than those businesses 10 years from now.
I just can't believe how well he stuck around.
Yeah.
Didn't it feel like, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it was ever anything, but
Yeah.
it was almost like it kind of entered into like meme territory a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just kind of felt like hard to stick around.
Yeah.
And now it's just part of the culture. Like I don't even think about it. It used to kind of be like, oh, Fashion Nova model or oh, blah, blah, blah. Now it's just everyone.
It's unbelievable what they've done.
It's so great.
It's so cool.
Do you think he got it at a discount? Because that area still isn't occupied.
I'm sure he got a discount. He drives a hard bargain from my.
So
my
Do you think
experience
that
with
building
it.
would have
I
been
bet
like
he did.
300 million 5 years ago?
What?
Do you think the
You know,
building?
look, it's an office building in Beverly Hills. Nobody in Beverly Hills works, and there's no reason to have an office. So
Yeah, I bet.
I'm sure he got a great deal.
Yeah.
And for him, he owns the real estate. He gets a lot of tax benefits from owning the real estate.
Do you think he's kicking Gwyneth out?
I hope he kicks her out.
Get out.
Get the fuck out.
Their vagina candles. Pack them up. Pack them up and get out. It smells like vagina in my new office. Okay, well, props to him. Props to the Revolve team. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's literally because their businesses are so mega. It's very inspiring.
It is. It's
So that
great.
whole building, as I know now that I
Now
Googled
Anand's
it,
tripping.
I realized how big that building is.
Yeah.
It's all him.
I think.
Yeah, he has big plans.
Yeah, his post, it looked like he was going to do like a creator studio, an entrepreneur meetup.
It's a massive building.
Yeah. So
I
you
hope
probably
he
got a
has
deal.
nice restaurants because I will live there if he has nice restaurants.
Goop.
But you won't go for Gwyneth.
I have ordered from Goop. I saw it on Postmates once.
Good Caesar.
The food is actually really
They have a
good.
good Caesar
It's
salad.
obscenely expensive though.
It is
All
expensive.
the-
Like I ordered a dish, one dish. It was
Yeah.
$30 fucking.
Yeah, it's Gwyneth.
A bowl.
Inflation, you don't really hit Goop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goop crowd is fine.
Props to them. Props to Revolve. Props to everybody.
Props to America. NFL starts Thursday.
Props to the fucking NFL. Time to turn on the money machine.
Woo!
Woohoo! Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Are you gone Wednesday?
I am gone Wednesday.
I'm here.
You're here?
Yep.
I'm here.
Great. I'll be at the US Open.
See Tiafo?
Is he going to be there Wednesday?
I
Or
mean,
might
he
be there
just
tomorrow.
won.
Where's
he
it at?
won?
He might be tomorrow though.
Paris? Where is it?
New York.
When do you go? Tonight?
Said
Tomorrow.
U.S. Open. He said, "Where is it, Paris?"
Whenever I think U.S. Open, I just think
Oh my
fancy
God. What a great way to end.
Wimbledon.
All right, guys.
It's anywhere. It doesn't matter.
I'm so hot in here.
All right, we're out. We're sweating. See you guys later. Have a good week.